Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. A very good afternoon to everyone. Ramadan Kareem, and welcome to the University of Manchester Dubai information session. My name is Josen, one of the program counselors here in the University of Manchester Dubai. And with me here today is Akasha Samuel. We are here today to talk more about the Masters in Educational Leadership in Practice in your journey. AK, good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon, Jocelyn. A warm welcome to all our participants and attendees today, and to our guest as well, who we'll be introducing in a while.
AK, tell us what is in store for us today, by the way.
So we are going to deep dive into the MA Educational Leadership in Practice, which is one of our award-winning programs, which is made for and designed, tailor-made for teachers who are busy executives. So we are going to talk about how this program is going to help you shape your leadership skills and become somebody who will be impactful in your educational organization. So we are going to go through in detail about the modules covered, what will be the impact of this program, and towards the end, we also have a special guest joining us who is one of our alumni on the program. We will introduce her to you later, and she will also be sharing her valuable experience on her program and as an alumni, what the modules that she went through, and the best practices or the tips that she can give you to be successful on the program. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Excellent, AK. Stay tuned for more of that later on as we embark in this informative session that we have actually prepared for all of you. Now, before we discuss the structure of the program, as AK said, I want to give you a little bit of introduction of who we are. Committed to world-class research and outstanding learning and student experience, social responsibility, the University of Manchester is the UK's largest single-site university. Established in 1824, we have actually celebrated our 20th years anniversary, the bicentenary celebration, making a difference globally just last year. Currently ranked 6th in the UK, 7th in Europe, and 34th globally by QS World Rankings. In Financial Times 2025, we are ranked 5th in the UK, 14th in Europe, and 46th globally. Our career services rank number 1 in the UK and 3rd globally. Our MBA, the program, the flagship program of the University of Manchester, is triple accredited Crown. Only about 110 universities in 36 countries has a triple Crown accreditation. That is just about 1% of all the business schools in the world. The University of Manchester also has a rich academic history. And just recently, from the 25th, now we are the home of the 26th Nobel Prize winner. That is from 1906 till 24, awards given to physics, chemistry, economic sciences, and medicine. This is Simon Johnson. He won the Nobel Prize in Economics just last October 2024 for his groundbreaking research into understanding wealth disparities between different nations, analyzing how institution and the rule of law shape national prosperity. Simon Johnson studied economics at Manchester in the 1980s and now a professor at MIT. Now, here in the University of Manchester, Dubai, we opened in Dubai Knowledge Park in 2006, celebrating our 19th year with about 107 different nationalities and over 2,000 plus MBA graduates today. The school also has a regional community of around 3,000 plus alumni and actively works to create professional networking opportunities to help enrich the wider business community. It is the largest and fastest growing branch in the University of Manchester Alliance Manchester Business School International Network. And just recently, the University of Manchester Dubai is licensed by the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research. We have centers across the globe, like, of course, a branch here in Dubai, Shanghai in China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and, of course, our main campus in Manchester. We're currently offering programs in the Global Part-Time MBA, Part-Time Global Executive MBA, which starts every January and July. We also have the Masters in Financial Management that takes place every September of every year. And today's topic, the Masters in Educational Leadership in Practice. Now, when you decide to start your journey with us, you'll be working alongside an incredible team of the University of Manchester, Dubai. From our program counselors like us, we will assist you on the first step of your journey, help you to gather more information about the program, and assist you on the admission process. While the student support team will be there with you every step of the way from day one until graduation day. Careers and Alumni, on the other hand, is the team responsible in fostering strong relationships with students and alumni to build a supportive network and encourage engagement, while the marketing team will also continue promoting your brand identity and organizing events throughout your journey. All this with the support of the Middle East founding director, Randa Besiso, who has successfully developed the University of Manchester, Dubai, and its work to its position as the largest and fastest growing in the university's international network. Now I'll hand you over to AK or Akansha to talk more about the Masters in Education Leadership in Practice and, of course, your journey. AK?
Okay, so we have Dr. Paul Armstrong, who is the program director for our Masters in Educational Leadership in Practice, and you can see a few pointers on his bio. He is an experienced professional. He is also the editor-in-chief for the academic journal, Management in Education. And one thing I'd like to highlight about our Masters in Education Leadership in Practice and the Institute of Education with the University of Manchester is that we are ranked in the top 10 education institutes in the UK. And this particular program, which has been developed over the last few years, and this will be the 5th running year and the 5th cohort for us to be offering this program in the Middle East. Dr. Paul Armstrong has been very successfully leading a team of academics who are based in Manchester and who take turns to travel in and out across our global centers. As Jordan just explained a while back in the introduction slide, that we have a global presence in 5 locations. And Dr. Paul and his team actively travel across the globe at all the centers to be delivering the workshops for the MA Education Leadership in Practice. And they are very highly involved in intensive research as well, which impacts the ELIP curriculum eventually. Moving on to the next slide, I'll just like to play a short video of Dr. Paul talking. Do we have that with us, Jocelyn, the slide with his video introduction?
No, we don't have that, AK, right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Apologies.
Never mind. We will share some information with you after the session as well, and we'll be more than happy to share YouTube links where you can find more information about the academics, talking about the program in detail. So moving on to the structure, the program structure, which is very important, I assume, because students within this region, we understand that teachers and education leaders are looking for a very flexible way of study, if at all they find themselves in a position to be able to, take on an additional challenge or a responsibility of undergoing a master's qualification or any professional development qualification, because we do understand that your schedules are very tight, and it's important and imperative for you to know how this program works in terms of flexibility. So as we mentioned, this is designed specifically for people who are working professionals, who are teachers and educators in full-time jobs at the moment and would be willing to go through a leadership program which they will acquire skills from in terms of putting it into practice. And that's why the title of the program, Education Leadership in Practice, because it's a very practice-oriented and experiential learning-based master's. So the program is delivered over 2 years. It's a part-time blended learning program, which means we have a combination of face-to-face distance teaching as well, which brings in the classroom experience, and it keeps a balance between the practical element that you will be discussing and collaborating with during your conferences, as we call them, which happen once every semester, alongside the flexibility which comes with online learning, considering the tight schedule for teachers and education professionals. You visit us twice a year for interactive conferences, like I've mentioned. These would be taking place at the beginning of every semester in September and March. And this will be the time when students travel from across the region. So we have candidates, we have teachers who are on the program based not only in UAE, but the broader Middle East region. So we service the whole of Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia. So we have teachers traveling from across the region centrally in Dubai once every semester to attend a 3-day course conference. And based on previous feedback from teachers, we have now tried to stick with a weekend format. So the way your course conference would work each semester would be a 3-day format over a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, wherein Friday would be a half day. So you would kind of start from around 2 p.m. until evening, and Saturday and Sunday would be full working days. For example, it would be 9 to 5 of a schedule for the conference. And this has been very inclusively adapted as a feedback from our teachers who have been on the program previously. And this kind of a format is now working very well, I believe, in terms of the time expectations as well. The intake happens once each year in September, and we are currently recruiting students for the Education Leadership in Practice. And we would be more than happy to connect with you later, and we will be discussing as well a little later towards the session in terms of the entry requirements on the program as well, and the timelines expected. The teaching method is applied learning, like I explained just a few seconds back, that we follow a very practice-oriented method of teaching on this program. And we follow something called the Manchester method, which is learning by doing. And this is embedded in not just education, leadership, and practice, but each of the program offerings at the University of Manchester. Here in the Middle East and back in the UK as well. And this helps us to embed that practical element and component in each and every module, which makes the program much more dynamic, much more relevant to the current practices in the organizations. And it is useful for anybody embarking on that journey to gain not just theoretical knowledge and understanding, but also how you will be able to put that into practice. The 4 main areas that are covered during the 2 years of this program. There are 4 themes which revolve around leadership, critical approach, change management, and networking. And the flexibility also comes in towards, I believe, the 3rd semester, where you are able to choose optional courses. There are 2 optional units from which you can choose one of the options to kind of customize your learning. So Dr. Paul Armstrong teaches alongside the team of academics, like I mentioned a while back, and you can see the list of academics that teach on this program, who will be traveling across the 5 locations, and they take turns to travel to Dubai as well to deliver the workshops here, which means that the teaching and learning on the program here at the Dubai branch is exactly the same as what will be in the UK. So it's a reflection of how the program is delivered at the main campus. And that's very important because we are bringing the same professionals, the same academics who have experience in world-leading research, who have helped develop this program as well back in Manchester. And they continuously feed into, the theories and the research that goes into developing the program and maintaining the curriculum. So these are the people who will be traveling down as well to deliver the course here. So you do have access to world-leading research through your academics, through the professors, and you can even feel free to connect, with them one-on-one basis. And one thing which is very unique about the education leadership in practice, and I'm sure our alumni who will be joining us also would be, happy to testify that the team of academics that we have on this program is very well, acquainted with the students. They are very welcoming in terms of interactions, in terms of meeting with students, and they personally would know each and every candidate and how their progress on the program has been. So that, I think, is one of the very good things about the teaching team and academics on this program that I'd like to highlight. And we'll, of course, hear more from our alumni later on. So this is the typical program structure, year 1 and 2. There are a total of 4 terms, 2 terms each year. As I said, the program starts in September every year. So you will be taking your first semester from September until Feb, and then the second semester from March until August. Each semester will have 2 modules that you will be undergoing. In the first term, we have models of education leadership, engaging with education leadership in practice in the first semester. Second semester, we go on to leading educational change and development and educational leadership policy. Year 2, starting with semester 3, will have education leadership as a social practice, and then you have an option to choose an elective between leadership of international schools and digital media and information literacy. And moving on to semester 4, which is the final semester, your focus will be entirely on your research project. So you will be taking research skills and suites, which is a preparatory course, which helps you eventually to work on your independent research project, which you will be working on in terms of selection of a topic and identifying your research scope and areas alongside a mentor that will be assigned to you. Now, as we said, the structure of delivery will be in form of a course conference at the beginning of every September and March. So you engage in a very highly interactive, time of learning for 3 days alongside your colleagues, alongside your peers. You will be having discussions as well. So it's quite an immersive time of 3 days where you will gain a lot of information. And once you go back from the conference, that's when you will engage in virtual learning and online sessions, which will be helping you, reflect on the learning from the conferences. And it will also help you work towards your assessments. Now, the most important part, the assessment. So we don't have examination-based assessments on this program because it is practice oriented. The way you will be assessed will be in form of assignments and coursework. So for each and every module, you will be working on an assignment submission on which you will be graded for all the terms. And in the last semester, your final research project will be your final and major assessment on which you will be graded for the program. So that's about the assessments. I'll be skipping these slides for now, and we will be hearing about the modules a bit more in detail from our alumni a little later in the session, but I'll want to quickly reflect and highlight, on the takeaways from this program. So many a times, students who are applying for the program or deciding to apply for education leadership, we have experienced teachers getting in touch with us and asking what would be the next step for them after taking this program, or probably they are not yet sure as to what kind of skill set would they be developing from this program. So I would like to highlight a few things. So obviously, the progression or career progression in terms of a leadership position is the very first thing that comes to mind when thinking about the education leadership in practice, because this course is for anybody who is a teacher, an educator who has been working in a teaching profile, probably even at a mid-management level, but you are somebody who wants to have a much broader understanding of how to be a leader within your organization, a senior leader. how to impact policy, how to impact change, how to lead your organization, how to lead your team members. So that is something that you will gain as a takeaway from this program, because this program equips you to become a leader. So obviously you can confidently, approach positions into the senior leadership of the school, of the organization, much more confidently. You will be going through a period of 2 years of this program where you will delve into a lot of research. You will be doing a lot of reflection, and the kind of skills that you will gain from this program, like I said, will be helping you to kind of, forge your own identity as a leader within your organization and make a mark. Now, that for some people, it could mean targeting a senior leadership role like a principal of the school, or for somebody it would might just be a leader of their unit or the subject that they are teaching, or a middle year leader, for example. So they might not be targeting a very senior position of the school, but it would help you reflect into your own skills as a person, as a leader, and see how you could lead within that individual scope that you're responsible for. Skills, that definitely goes without saying, that once you go through a program like this, you will be developing a whole set of new skills. So we can see here there are intellectual skills, practical skills, transferable skills, and we have actually seen our students before and after the program. And we have seen them coming out of this program with much more than what they expected at the beginning of the program. So this is really something which is very transformative, not just in terms of academic knowledge and learning, and just leadership skills, but it would be much more. It would be building confidence. It would be building communication skills, skills that you would be able to adapt yourself and then pass on either to your peers or to your students as well. So that's definitely going to be a much more rewarding experience in terms of developing yourself professionally. And of course, the global network. So this program, like we mentioned, attracts people, attracts students from across the globe, from different nationalities, from different backgrounds and cultures. And very interestingly, from this year onwards, we are also introducing an option for candidates to be able to take their second year conferences at global centers. So in the first year, in the previous slide, as we saw, you have 2 sets of conferences each year. So starting this year, we also would be happy to see some students traveling to Manchester, for example, or maybe Singapore or Shanghai or Hong Kong to take your conferences. And that definitely something that would be helping you grow your professional network, connect with teachers and educators from different parts of the world, see what are the best practices, learn from them, because obviously apart from the academic knowledge, peer learning is definitely going to be a very important part of the program, because you will be able to see how things are done in different schools, in different countries, in different curriculums, what are the practices that they follow. And it's quite an interesting journey, I would say. So global network is definitely that you should be looking out for when embarking on a journey like this. Okay, so blended learning. Now, what kind of support would you have? I think that question will keep coming back again, because we understand it's a very important aspect for anybody considering the program, to know that they are well supported, they have the kind of help they need. So once you embark on the journey, once you complete the process of admission, like at the beginning as well, like I am program counselor, we have a team of experienced counselors that will be helping you, to understand your learning objectives, see if this program aligns with what you actually want to do. And we'll be more than happy to even connect with you at some point for a personalized counseling session as well, where we can have a detailed conversation about your objectives and motivation to be on the program. Once you go through that first bit of deciding whether this is the right program, the right university for you, which is your initial decision, and once you complete your admission process, you are assigned to a dedicated student advisor, a study advisor at our local office here in Dubai, who would be offering you support right from the beginning of your student journey until the end. And obviously, it wouldn't end, your relationship with the community would go on. But for the program duration that you will be enrolled, you will have somebody to fall back on in terms of any questions you have about your assessments, your submissions, any flexibility you need in terms of probably taking a break in between your study or reducing your workload if you're too overwhelmed, or if you think that at some point you might need to slow down the pace of your study. So these are things that are definitely available. And I think I did not mention that in the beginning, but the duration for you to complete the program, if you follow the exact timeline, is 2 years, but your enrollment would stay active until 5 years, which means that anytime between 2 to 5 years, if you complete the master's, it would be the same award, the same impact. Your fees will not be impacted by any fee escalations, but you do have that flexibility to navigate through the student journey based on your life situations as well. And this person, your study advisor, will always be there to help you navigate through that. World-class academics, we have, like we discussed, we have the academics coming in from the main campus to teach you, to network with you, to give you guidance in terms of how you can also develop your professional journey ahead after the program. You have access to a very large library. Our digital libraries is one of the largest in the world. So anything that you need in terms of resources for your program are all available through our virtual learning portal, which is called the Blackboard. You also have an academic tutor. Like I said, our team is very, very involved with the students, the team of academics, and they will constantly be, checking your progress, giving you feedback, telling you where you can improve, and even, spend office hours with you if you want one-on-one interactions with them in terms of guidance. Student support from the well-being teams. Again, that's also part of our scope here. And at the Dubai branch, we have a team that will be helping you in terms of your well-being. And of course, you have access to teams back in Manchester as well in terms of careers and alumni development also, and opportunities to connect and learn with your cohort through online communities. So this is something very engaging as well, because other than your conferences and your online lectures, you have discussion forums, you have groups where you can discuss your questions, or, after a workshop, for example, or after your online sessions, you go back and you read into your material and you want to come back with questions. So you have discussion forums where you can connect with other people, with other students as well from across the globe, and access to the library, which I've already covered. Okay, so very critical and important, the entry requirements. The program, we do accept a good honors degree, which is equivalent to a 2-1, or a 2-2 degrees are also considered if the candidate has teaching experience for at least 2 to 3 years. That is imperative for you to have. But we follow something called the NARIC. So when you apply to the program, you should be having a bachelor's degree, which is equivalent to a first or second upper class honors degree. And if you come from a different curriculum, from a different country, you just have to submit your academic documents to us, and we will check if your qualification has an equivalency to the qualification that we are looking for entry. And you should be having at least 1 year of experience. So even if you have a 2-1, you should be having at least 1 year of professional experience within an education organization. Once you decide to make an application, you have to submit an online application with your academic documents. So we will first screen your eligibility in terms of your academic background. Once that is clear, we get back to you with a requirement of submitting an English proficiency proof. Now, as you can see on the screen, these are the acceptable test scores that we do accept. Obviously, the most common one being IELTS of 6.5, where each of your bands should be 6, a minimum 6, and writing component specifically has to be 6.5. for the IELTS score, and for the remaining courses as well. You can see the required score here. Just want to mention something else here as well. So as part of our admission process, the University of Manchester has a tie-up with the Pearson Group as well. And we offer something called the Pearson VEPT test for our candidates free of cost. So when you as a candidate are applying to the University of Manchester, you submit your application. If your academic grades are meeting the requirement and we go to the next level of assessment, you have the opportunity to take a free test with the Pearson VEPT, which will be done in 2 parts. The first part of that test is a normal online test similar to an IELTS, where you have the reading, writing, listening, and speaking sections for the Pearson. And once you complete the online test, the second part of that test would be a written test offered by the University of Manchester's Language Centre. So only if you complete these 2 components is when you will be able to fully, fulfill the English requirements. But in case if you are not successful with the free test that we offer, the Pearson VEPT, and the second part of the English written test, in that case, you anyways have an option to go back, take an external IELTS or a PTE academic or a TOEFL, and you can submit your score back to us. But just to highlight that as a first step, if you would like, you can explore the free test offered by the university as well. And we can share the details of that with you later on, of course. Now, if the most critical information other than the entry requirement obviously comes to the fee, and I am very excited to announce that you might have seen on the program promotions as well for this event that we are offering an exclusive 25% discount for all the attendees in today's session. So our full fees is £17,850. And with that 25% reduction, your fees will come down close to about £13,000, which you will be paying across 4 installments each semester. So it'll be a total of 2 installments each year, and it is a flexible way of paying. For candidates based in the UAE, we also have a tie-up with Emirates NBD Bank, wherein you do have an option to pay your full semester fees and get that converted into monthly installments on a 0% interest from the bank if you pay using an Emirates NBD credit card. So that's another option which adds more flexibility to the payment terms. But yes, this would be a very considerable and significant amount of reduction on the fees. And anybody who is joining the session today, if you are keen to start in the upcoming intake in September, after the session, feel free to get in touch with us to get more guidance on how we can get you started on the application process and take benefit of this discount.
Thank you, AK, for that. That's very informative in terms of the tool that they can use to make a decision towards the Masters in Educational Leadership in Practice. Now, AK, we do have a special guest, as he said, and let me have an introduction about her. She is an experienced educational leader, currently serving as the head of the English department at Ajman American Private School, an alumna of the University of Manchester, Dubai. She holds a master's in educational leadership in practice with a strong background in assessment, data management, and English teaching. She is committed to fostering academic excellence and inclusivity. Her expertise in identifying and supporting underachieving students has made a significant impact in the UAE education sector. Her passion for continuous learning and her dedication to creating effective learning environment distinguish her as a respected leader in the field of education. Everybody, let me introduce to you and help me welcome the head of assessment and data at Sharjah International Private School, Hatice Yurdakol. Hatice, how are you doing today?
Good afternoon. Thank you for this lovely introduction, Justin and Akansha. Thanks for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. Ramadan Kareem.
Very good, very good. So, Eka, I think we have a few questions that we have set for Hatice today. I think the very first question that we will throw at you right now, Hatice, is that we want to have a better understanding. Why have you chosen this program, particularly Educational Leadership and Practice, and why University of Manchester?
I'm from Turkey and I decided to move to UAE 10 years ago. I'm from a very reputed university in Turkey, but in an international setting, you need something more accountable. You need something more recognized. Although my university back home is a very well-known university, obviously Manchester University outperforms it. When I first came to the UAE, I had experience of 14, 15 years of teaching, but and I was ready to take a role in leadership, but I wasn't very sure how to do that. So I decided to get some more hands-on experience and more academic support in terms of how to be a good educational leader. I was very interested to learn more about the program when I saw the briefings and everything on LinkedIn and on social media. I said, okay, this is definitely for me. It's offered by a very reputed university, globally ranked among the top universities, and it is definitely what I need as I want to take the next step in my career as an educational leader. So this is why I decided to study with Manchester University, and I never regretted it.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. I
Thank
like that.
you.
Ike, do you have a question for Atisha?
Yes, yes. And as Satisha is talking, and I'm kind of reminiscing our experience before of her inquiring about the program and how enthusiastic she was and very determined to get onto the program. And eventually you did, and you performed so well on the program, Hatisha. I just wanted to know, how has this program contributed to your success? I know that you've switched roles as well during and after the program. So how do you think that has impacted your career progression and success?
Thank you. International school settings are very competitive, and there are so many um, changes, and it's very competitive, as I said, in the job market out there, and it's getting more and more. So with this Manchester University on my CV, I started getting more interviews. That's number one. The other thing is, wherever I started working, as you rightly mentioned, I changed a couple of roles, and I could leave a trace wherever I performed. This program equipped me with very, very efficient, effective skills that I can literally solidly apply to my leadership wherever I go. So I could have a scientific approach to my style. I could lead my team in a very proper way with good feedback from the management, from my line managers, and from my team wherever I go. So it has a definitely positive impact on my career. Previously, I was in the middle leadership group, but now I am running for senior leadership team. And I was also offered in certain cases as some other roles that I never thought of applying or considering to to apply. So it really made a huge impact on my career path.
Full. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I think just coming from that, I also wanted to know, like, did your goals change during? And you did say that you didn't hope to develop those skills, but it changed you in a much more deeper way. So did your goals change from the time when you started the program, or maybe during your studies or after graduation, in terms of your objective to be on this program, and what was the final outcome of that?
I'll be very direct and upfront with this question. When I first applied to the program, my main target was to have an internationally recognized university on my CV. But after I completed the program, obviously it boosted my confidence, and I could see that I can be a good fit for the leadership roles. And I have the skills. The program made me very well aware of my soft skills and academic skills, to be honest. So I was planning to remain in the middle leadership positions, but now I am very confident and I'm very well aware that I have the skill set to apply even for higher positions. So the program changed my mindset that I can make even more progress in my career. So in that sense, the program equipped me with the necessary skills, and it increased my awareness on where I am and what I can do, my capabilities, to be honest.
All right, thank you for that.
Beautiful.
Atisha, AK or Akansha mentioned earlier about some of the semester that we would ask for help. AK, would you like to go to that? Let's go to semester
Yes,
one.
yes.
And
Let's
I want
go to
also to
those.
remind everybody right now, those who are actually our guests, if you have any questions, anything at all, you can use the chat box. And at the same time, you can just ask us to allow you to talk if you want to participate in this session. Let's go back to semester one here, AK. Maybe you can throw out the question to Atisha.
Yes, so
Yes.
I just want to, so these are the semester one courses, models of education leadership and engaging in research in educational leadership. So Hatisha, I would just like for the sake of our audience, because I'm sure they will have questions about what are these modules about, how, what was your experience on them, or what were your key takeaways from each module, if I can say so. If you can just share a bit about these modules, like what was the most maybe you can highlight the favorite module that you had, which was the where you performed well, or you think it was not easy to perform. You can be honest as well. So yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely, pleasure. I remember as if it was like yesterday, the first session that was ran by um, um, I can't remember his name. It's a shame.
Dr. Steve?
No, the other one. Oh my God.
Dr.
Yes,
Alex.
Alex McTaggart. Oh, shame on
Yes.
me. Sorry. Yeah, it was the
That's
very
fine.
first. It was the very first session that I attended, and I felt that this is the very right program, Models of Educational Leadership. I remember as if it was like yesterday. He presented a picture where he could label the picture. It was an ancient picture, a king entering the city, and there was a crowd. It depicted how a powerful leader would look like. So he connected it to educational leadership. And even to this day, even though I forgot the names, I can still, wherever it is my first time in an institution, I can think of my intellectual capacity, the connections, all those things. So this model, the first one, talks about models of educational leadership, and wherever I go, I can spot the leaders. Okay, this is transactional leadership. Okay, this is instructional leadership. So it equips you with the leadership styles in your the places that you're going to work, and it gives you an idea which one you want to adopt depending on your specific context. The next one, engaging with research and education leadership, gives you the skills on how to conduct an academic research throughout the program. So it gives you how to narrow down your research, how to look for how to make use of all the resources that are available during your studies by Manchester University. By the way, you have access to so many things and so many libraries free of charge, all those articles and stuff, which is very, very another plus by the program. The semester two, educational leadership as a social practice. This was one of the very impactful modules that I took. So this helps you make aware that you can you can connect with your colleagues if you want to run a program, and how you can make use of how you can utilize the practices in other schools, how you can connect with the colleagues to improve your practice within your organization and within their organization. So this is about collaboration, and I really benefited from it a lot. Optional unit, this was for summer. I picked digital technologies and educational leadership. That was the unit I took. And again, this I was thinking actually that I would be introduced to some some digital technologies and how to use it. No, it was way more than that and much better than that. It was about how to bring those digital technologies in your setting and what are the factors that you need to keep in mind as a leader, which I benefited a lot. In my schools, I introduced some digital technologies, and it helped me recognize how to use human resources, how to utilize um, other available resources, and it was all thanks to this unit I took by, I think it was by Drew, Professor Drew. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And as you rightly said, when you first introduced the program, all the modules, all the units are hands-on. Of course, you do some academic reading, which might sound like a burden. Of course, it requires some time management skills to create time for all of this, but definitely it's worth it. Throughout the program, you develop your time management skills. As we're educators, we all have that skill already, but it polishes it even more. Leading
Okay,
educational change. Sorry, yeah.
sorry, Atisha. Thank you for that. Let's look right now, semester 3, leading
Yeah.
educational change. Anything that's actually the most memorable one for you in these two modules, particularly?
Oh, it's such a tough question for me. I cannot, when they ask these questions to authors, oh, which book is your best? And they say, oh, they're all like my children. Now looking at each and every one of them, it comes back to me, brings back nice memories. I cannot say one is superior to the other because each one provided me with deep insight on and deep awareness of how I can run things in a more scientific and professional way in my context. Leading educational change was another one, how you can bring change to your institutions, how to connect with people, how to improve whatever is there in a proper way, in a gradual way, and what are the steps that you can take to lead these educational changes. And education policy and leadership, before I took this unit, I have to admit that I had little information about policy, and now I can see even whatever is happening around the globe impacts my tiny little school policy making. So it equips you with a very well awareness of how you can master, how you can improve your performance. Yeah, practice. Yeah,
Okay, let's now go to semester 4.
yeah.
There's a research skills and practice. There's the practice based inquiry. I think a lot of people who are very curious about this, Atisha, if you could give us a little insight about these two modules
Sure.
at the very end.
For the inquiry, you are expected to pick a topic, and our lecturers were very supportive on this. They did not limit us. They helped us to evaluate, pick a topic which we would be passionate about. My topic was the barriers and support female educational leaders face in the Middle East setting. So I received support from all the lecturers, professors, and they encourage you to do your research on something you're passionate about. The research skills and practice is a preparatory course which makes you ready for this inquiry. So it's a scaffolded unit, let's say, semester. So it was a very good idea to scaffold it. I think it was scaffolded the year that we took it. I think it was last year. So first you go through research skills and practice, and then you build on your inquiry on that. Now, going back to your question, which one was my favorite among all these modules? There was one thing which was common, which was the reflection. We were asked to add reflection using Gibbs cycle. And I think in the previous webinar also I mentioned it. It's such a practical way of going through your performance. I can say that this helped me. This equipped me with even a life skill. You know, whenever I go through something, whenever I complete, even even with a dinner party for my guests, I apply this. Not always in academic settings, to be honest. Joke aside, it's a very very important skill that I acquired, developed during my studies here. I can tell that this improved my practice and my perception and how I view things. This improved my approach. Well, now I know if something is not working, rather than going depressed, I apply this gift cycle and I focus on how I can improve it. That's a definitely life skill that I can't thank Manchester University enough for equipping me with.
I have a follow-up question, Tisha. In terms of the 3-day workshop or the
Yeah.
first conferences, can you take us back on that 3-day event? What are you guys doing there exactly? What are the activities it takes place for you? I'm just very curious now.
Yeah, it's a very nice opportunity to connect with your colleagues, to connect with the instructors. So it's, you know, after COVID, we want to connect. We need this human side of education. So it's nice and it's warm to see the lecturers flying all the way from the UK, and it's also nice to connect with the other peers who are with you in the program, so you can have an idea of what's going on in other schools, in other parts of the world. So you can chat about education, you can talk about how the studies are going, and it's a good chance to network. And it's very well organized that even where you're going to park your car is considered by the organization committee. So I really, really enjoyed those 3-day conferences because the lecturers are always there to support you, and they were those 3-day conferences were one of the moments that I was looking forward to attending.
And for the is there any assessment happening, some sort of activity that the team has to present at the very end of day 3, or is there something like that that's going on the 3-day course conference?
Not really, but we were briefed about the module assessment, and we were
Mm-hmm.
given support regarding what were the expectations, how we could do things, and it was mostly about discussions on the articles that we were assigned, and how it again broadened your horizon on how to make your practice shine even better. Yeah, there wasn't an assessment, at least for our cohort. We exchanged our ideas. We studied together. We discussed together, and they were eye-opening sessions led by the lecturers coming from the UK. But I really really enjoyed all of them. Yeah.
Nice.
And thanks to the team that it was Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And thanks to the organizing team, it was moved to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right. Okay, I think we have a few more questions there in WhatsApp. If you could check that intro at Tisha.
Yes. So I have two questions about accreditation, which I think we'll take later. But there's
Mhm.
one question specifically for Atishe from Lama. And Lama is somebody who's already enrolled for the program, and she will be starting in September. So she wants to
Nice.
know, Atishe, about your experience in terms of the average weekly time commitment for study, which is very important.
Uh-huh.
So if you
Yeah,
could give
What
them a
is
bit more, the true picture of the time
yeah.
commitment, yeah.
what is Hatisha's best practices? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Um, I suggest if you are organized, as I said at the very beginning, we are all educators. Most of us are educators, I believe, attending this webinar. We are already experts in time management. We have to plan our sessions. We have to think about all those potential mishaps and everything. So how I organize my time, how I manage my time. I'm a mother to a teenager, and I have 2 cats, and I live in the UAE. Yes, and I had to commute daily 150 kilometers. So that was also, yeah. And I like to exercise. If I don't exercise, my mind is blown. So I had to make room for all these activities. Otherwise, it will definitely drain you. But assigning those articles, if you, I did not leave anything to the last minute. I assigned my time for articled reading, and this is how I managed my time. So, and over the weekend, not for the whole weekend, of course, I put my brains to study. No. So during the week, I divided into chunks, and I gave myself a tick and a tap on the shoulder when I completed my tasks. I never ever try to leave them to the last minute, because it will definitely not work, and it will cause a lot of anxiety, and uh, things are probably going to be messed. So if they are, yes, it's a lot of reading, yes, it requires time, yes, sometimes you will have to say no to your friends who are going out for coffee, or some other gathering, but not all the time. You will become more selective in the activities that you're going to attend, but with good time management skills, it will work. Yeah.
So there's a good amount of balance, huh,
Yeah.
Atisha, in your
Yeah,
journey.
definitely.
AK, before you go to the next question, I have just like a related question to that, since we're talking about balance and schedule. What was the most challenging part in your journey in this program, Atisha? Is there any challenging part you would say?
Um, the challenging part would be summer study. Yeah. While everybody was swimming, there were times that I had to sit and read the articles. But again, it is worth it. At the end of the program, that achievement, that success makes you feel proud of your commitment. And again, as I said, you even polish your time management skills. It doesn't mean that you're gonna prison yourself in one study room and you're going to read day and night, and you're not going to meet anyone. Your social life will be disrupted. No, I still went out with my friends. I enjoyed my time. I was still on holiday. I was swimming. But there will be a bit of sacrifice, and if it is well planned, it will go well. Yeah. My
Okay.
most important suggestion would be to not leave anything to the last
Hmm.
minute.
Yeah,
Definitely, it will not work.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
think that's the key, consistency.
Yeah.
For anything, anything
Yeah.
that we are working towards to achieve, like you
Yeah.
said, working out or physical health or, studies. And that's something that we've seen amongst all our other programs as well, on the MBA programs, which are, have a bit more commitment in terms of physical requirements on the program, in-person requirements, leaving everything at the last minute. Although some people have that habit, they think that they will be able to deal with it, and probably they are as well. Probably they have that, they focus time towards the end, but having that consistent progression, like you said, keeps you in a much more safer place
Yeah.
to perform well.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. Yeah. One challenge, I think Josam was asking about it. Sometimes there were times Blackboard was a bit acting up, but it was properly supported. We were communicated about it. Blackboard is the tool, Moodle tool, I guess. I think it's called Moodle, where all the resources are uploaded and all. But proper support was provided. Yeah, that was the only challenge. Sometimes it was acting up, but not a very big deal.
And thanks for sharing that as well, Hatisha, because that's quite critical for students, because they are
Yeah,
all across, the region, and having hands-on support for any, because obviously
yeah,
technology and things happen, but having that support makes a lot of difference. It
yeah.
eases out things. I just wanted to ask one more question about how was your relationship with your tutor or with your supervisor? So what kind of support can students expect from the academics? Because I've seen them very deeply engaged with the ELIP students. They know you by name, they know how you've progressed in each of the modules. So how was your experience there with the
Yeah.
academics?
Initially when I first started the program, I wasn't very well aware that I would receive this much of support. They are very, very supportive. They listen to you, they respond to your emails immediately, and they value what you're going through. They value and respect your commitment, because the first thing, all the lecturers, all the academics told us, okay, you're doing an amazing job, you're already full-time practitioners, and now you're committing your time, weekend time, family time for this program, and we respect that. And that was throughout the program. That was default by all the staff of Manchester University, and it makes a difference. And whenever you are in doubt, or when you need support, the response is provided immediately. And I felt very valuable, because my opinion and my comments were regarded and appreciated, respected. So compared to their background as educators, compared to their educational background, academic background, I wouldn't feel myself that at their level. But no, day one, they address you as colleagues, and they are nowhere close to arrogant or whatever. They are very down to earth, very humble, very open to any sort of discussion, and they are very, very supportive. I am very, very lucky to have completed this program.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Atisha.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I think there's some admission questions earlier for you as well.
Yes, so we
Question,
do
maybe.
have a couple of questions on accreditation, and it brings me much joy to finally say and inform our candidates, because we have had questions about that in the past. And although our qualification, when you enroll on this program, you graduate in Manchester with the UK degree, but locally we have now acquired our licensure and accreditation by the Ministry of Education, UAE. And when you embark on this program and graduate, you will be able to get your certificate recognized by the Ministry of Education. However, there are prerequisites. When you apply to the program, we will be asking you for a prerequisites to be completed in terms of your bachelor's degree, because that also needs to have an equivalency with the MOE in order for your master's to be accredited by the Ministry of Education. But it definitely is something that we have now secured, and we are very happy to announce that that the qualification is locally recognized as well.
Good news for that, for everybody who's applying to all the programs at the University of Manchester.
Takeaway from a session, because we would love for you, Atisha, to share with the attendees today any advice for anybody in their mid-early career who is considering this particular program but is unsure of what they are entering, what can they achieve from it, how can they benefit, what is like your key takeaway advice for them?
Yeah. I can understand, I can feel that with the burden of daily marking, lesson planning, all those things, as teachers, we don't have much time at our hands. We can barely make time for our family, for our own socializing and everything. And I can feel that, okay, so this is an MBA, this is a master's program. It will take away more of my time, which is non-existent. But at the beginning, they might struggle a bit with the time management, but when things settle down, it will go very smoothly, and it will equip them with more more skills, life skills, and they will never regret it. It requires commitment, but it's definitely worth it. With well organized timetable, with good time management skills, it will work definitely, and it's a program not to be missed at all.
All right. You know what? I have a few questions for you. Let's play a little game here, AK, with Leticia. I want to ask you very quick question. I want you to answer that very quick as well. Okay, one answer. All right, Leticia.
Yes,
Uh, let's go. Favorite professor, Leticia, in the program of ELIP?
Stephen, Dr. Stephen.
Steven.
Yeah.
Okay. Best day of the week to study?
Friday, as we have the half day off in the UAE. Yeah.
Okay. Best time of the week to study?
In the morning
Oh,
time on a Saturday and Sunday.
okay. One great thing you learn in group activity?
Not to have bias,
Okay.
because yeah, you never know who has what in their background. I was surprised to find out when we had a group activity. I know this is more than one sentence, but I will still share.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that.
When we had this group activity, there was a very experienced teacher in our group, and there was one new graduate. I was thinking, okay, so here we go. I know who's doing what. But throughout the study, it was the experienced colleague who was lagging behind, and the new fresh graduate who was contributing a lot to our group work. So this has been a lifetime experience and lesson for me. Never ever have bias against anyone, because they might prove it to be wrong.
Amazing. So the word is bias. Don't be
Yes.
biased. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any hobbies or sports that you gave up during the study period, the study journey?
Maybe cooking. I didn't have that
Okay,
much time
okay.
for cooking. Yeah.
The kids hate you that time then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Graduate in Manchester, or did you graduate in Dubai?
I graduated in Dubai, but I'm planning to attend the summer graduation in Manchester as well.
Who was the first person you told about you're going back to school, Hatisha?
I think it was my husband, I guess.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And what
Well,
is his reaction?
he supported me. He said,
Okay, that's good.
if you're not going to do my head in, if you're going to leave me alone when you're struggling with those articles, go ahead. But I'm not taking any complaints or whining.
And lastly, describe your master's in educational leadership in practice in one word. Now I need one word here, Atisha, okay?
Okay, yeah.
It can't be mind-blowing.
Enriching, I would say.
Enriching.
Wow.
Wow. That's a big word. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so much, Atisha. It's been an
pleasure.
absolute pleasure. And thank you for always saying yes to us, like AK.
Yes, absolutely. And just for everybody to know, Hatisha is about to take a flight just in a few hours,
Yes.
but she
Yes.
was kind enough to still squeeze this in into her tight schedule for us. And we are grateful, Hatisha. Thank you so much for being an integral part of our community.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me this afternoon.
We'll
Anytime.
see you
Thank
again,
you.
Atisha. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
just for a few announcements to everybody here, AK, before we wrap up, we are going to have a few more events, of course, happening after our Eid holidays. We have if you're actually in Dubai on April 17th at 6 p.m., we have a masterclass by one of the great professors in Manchester, Leigh Wharton, in entrepreneurship and innovation. Please scan the QR code for more information, but that's going to be a 6 p.m. event on April 17. We also have a masterclass happening on April 24 at 6 p.m. This time, for those who are living in Abu Dhabi, we're going to be coming in Abu Dhabi with Professor Arif Khurshid, talking about more into finance. Please scan the QR code for more information, and follow us on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and please review us in Google to know more information about the program. AK, parting words to our friends and guests who have attended today.
Well, I would say, like Hatishe, just building on what she said towards the end, like you said, it was a big word, that this program and the journey that you would go through is very enriching, and you become an impactful person. And we say something that's kind of a tagline on our Masters in Education and Leadership. It's called "Be the positive change your education organization needs." So this program is something that will give you exactly that. It'll give you the skills, it'll give you the network, it'll give you the capabilities, the confidence to become that change within your organization. And I think that is what makes this program unique in the way it is delivered, it's taught. And we would be more than happy to welcome questions, welcome any kind of conversations you'd like to have with us, engage with us more often. It's a long time between now and September. And there will be multiple opportunities for you to engage with us as well. So keep track on our socials, on our activities, and we would love to see you, connect with you sometime soon. And just very quickly, Jocelyn, we have one more question I just saw, which we missed. It just came in a while back, of how many online classes do we have per week? From Zafera. So Farah, we usually have, we have the conference, which takes place at the beginning of the semester, and then there are about 4 to 5 live lectures for each of the modules in the whole term. So if you're taking 2 modules, on an average, you'll be taking about 8 to 9 online lectures in the whole 6 months, which is quite a staggered frequency. So it's less than 1 session per week kind of frequency, if that helps you. If you need more information, please feel free to write to us on that email, or just type your contact information in the chat box and we'll get back to you. That's all, Jocelyn. Thank you. I took
There you
longer.
go, AK. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, AK. It's been an incredible day. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure seeing all of you here today. If you have any questions, anything at all, you can reach out with that number you can see on screen. Email us, call us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. On behalf of our founding director, Randa Besiso, and the incredible team of the University of Manchester, Dubai, we wish you a fantastic day ahead. And please always be safe. Wishing you and your families a blessed Eid holiday, coming very soon. My name is Josen, and let me end by saying to always to be that change. Until then, masalama everybody.